I don't know whether you want to do another quick recap of the other 9 chapters,
Yeah.
maybe in a minute or two.
Yes, I'll just do a summary review of what we covered previously. But firstly, I would like to welcome our viewers. I can see there are already a lot of people watching and viewing this program. It's proving to be very popular. And please continue supporting this channel as we discuss issues about the socio-economic situation in our country, beloved Zimbabwe. Let me just give you a summary of the other chapters so far that we've covered in short. The first chapter looked at the geographical position of Zimbabwe, its people, its culture from 1890 up to the present day. We also looked at the formation of MDC from its humble beginnings in 1999, and also the turbulence that it went through up to subsequent elections and up to current present situation. Within also the book, there's also a helicopter view of my upbringing from a rural area in Mount Darwin, the schools that I went to, primary, secondary schools, colleges, and also my connection, linking that to the formation of MDC and how I joined politics. Also, we covered what we call the pictures of defiance, various pictures that I captured through the struggle. They are also within this book. We also looked at various articles. We looked at the list of targeted sanctions, people targeted by EU and US. We also looked at the US court case, also is in this book. Yes, so here we are now. So it is loaded with both the historical perspective of Zimbabwe, the politics, the economic meltdown, the violence nature of ZANU-PF and Robert Mugabe, including some sections about evidence of the Gukurahundi tortures and murders. So yes, this is the book, and we are now on chapter 10. So yes, go ahead, Tafuma.
Thank you. I just want to acknowledge Worship is watching now. They join me. I'm sure more people will be joining us very soon. So in chapter 10 is the last stand of defiance in the book. And this is the time when you return home after 9 years in exile.
Indeed.
Where were you for 9 years?
9 years I was in UK. 2011, after 9 years, I decided to go back to Zimbabwe.
And why did you decide to go back?
I would say it was a calling for duty, calling by my own people. So eventually, after 9 years, yes, I was going through various programs in education, and I decided that this was the time to go back to Zimbabwe, reconnect with the roots, reconnect with the people of Zimbabwe and those of my support base. Yes, I was very aware of the pending dangers, especially given that Zimbabwe politics is a jungle. But, you know, as a politician, you have to take sometimes risks. You're just like a businessman.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So what was it like when you got to Harare?
It was a roller coaster of shock shock, I would say. I didn't. You can imagine after 9 years, you are sort of a bit, you feel disconnected.
Out of touch.
Yes, but I was not very much sure of what awaited me in Zimbabwe. But when I arrived, everything has changed. I mean, if you look at it, this was after the economic meltdown of 2008, 2009, where the inflation reached 500 billion%.
So this was during the GNU?
Yes, so this was during the government of national unity. Things have sort of stabilized a bit, but by no means normal. Of course, I was also surprised that people have normalized the abnormal. And I think this is the current situation in Zimbabwe, which is still worrying, because those people who survived the turbulence of the 2008, 2009, they do a compare and comparison with the current situation, and some people think this is actually an acceptable norm, whereas it's not. I mean, Zimbabweans deserve a better life, they deserve a better government, and they deserve better prosperity. So when I arrived in Zimbabwe, right from the airport, I noticed a vast difference. Things have changed. You would expect that after 9 years, humanity has evolved, the economy has evolved positively, and the government is actually embraced globalization, and people have acquired prosperity. It was far away from that. The poverty was entrenched. Wherever I looked, there were signs of, Zimbabwe resembled a country emerging from a devastating war. The roads were in state of disrepair. You look at the buildings, everything.
Talking about the buildings, did you see pictures of the Nando's building which collapsed in Bulawayo, I think yesterday?
No, I didn't see it. I missed that one.
I don't know whether it was the cyclone. What's the name of that cyclone which is sweeping across from Mozambique?
Oh, which is bringing torrential rain.
Yeah. It could have been that, but at the same time, it could be those buildings have been standing for a long time, and if the roads have not been repaired, I don't expect even the buildings are being maintained to the right standards. So it could be a case that the building is now beginning to succumb.
Indeed,
to old age.
So yes, I mean, when I arrived in Zimbabwe, my first port of call was to the Harvest House at the MDC headquarters. I needed to catch up with both politics and also to see fellow members of the party. Had a tour of various offices of the party, and I think you might have also noticed that in chapter 10, I also alluded to the fact that I was given a surprise certificate of achievement.
Yes, it's, there's a picture of it in the book.
Indeed, yeah. So actually, they kept it secret. Little did I know that I was awarded a certificate of founding and pioneering leadership within an MDC.
Okay.
So it came as a surprise. Actually, I was not even given the same day. The next day, that's when the organizing department approached me to say,
"There is the award."
Yeah, and they said, "Are you aware that you were awarded a certificate?" whilst you were out of the country.
Mm.
And I said, what certificate is that? I said, I'll come to the office and then, we can talk. And then when I arrived at the offices, they presented me with an already signed certificate of achievement, signed by the President Morgan Tsvangirai.
Yeah.
Again, I was not the only person who was given the certificate of funding of MDC. There were a few people who were given, and that was during the celebration, MDC anniversary.
Okay.
Yes, I feel very humbled that I was given an award by my party that I cherish dearly. But it shows also that MDC, as a part of excellence, recognizes the contributions of its members.
Okay. You've also got a picture of a 20 billion Zimbabwe note. It's on the same page with the award. Was this your first time to see this currency?
Indeed, I've seen it, on newspapers, but this was my first time to lay hands on a 20 billion note.
Mm.
Actually, later on, I laid hands on a 1 trillion note. and then a bearer note printed one side because we ran out of ink to print the other side.
Okay.
So yes, it was. That was actually was shocking. What shocked me most was that after such a decapitating economic meltdown, after such a failure by ZANU-PF and Robert Mugabe, still Mugabe wanted to be the president of the country. To do what? I mean, he has been in power today for the past 37 years. And if he is to start campaigning as a candidate for 2018, what is he trying to, what is he going to promise the people of Zimbabwe?
I think I'm going to ask you that question. Let's wrap this up now.
Okay.
So, I mean, we've come to the end. This is chapter 10, the end of this book. It's available on Amazon. It's got the ISB number there. If you check on Elliot Pfebve, if you just search for Elliot Pfebve on Amazon, it should be able to come up, and you can buy a copy. Some people have already bought copies. I mean, based on these videos, we've already sent some books for people to read. So you can also get hold of the book and have a read and maybe comment. I know Mr. Pfebve is going to try and write more books. In fact, from next Sunday, we'll be looking at another of his books on sustainable development, which I think maybe will tie in with the Millennium Development Goals. Maybe, we'll see. So I think we can move on now to